Shalom, I'm Rabbi Stephen Sachs. Often the original is better than the sequel. A couple nights ago I caught the end of Beverly Hills Cop starring Eddie Murphy. Forgot just how funny of a movie it was. Really good movie. Then Beverly Hills 2 came out and it was okay. And Beverly Hills 3 came out and it bombed. Does the Torah follow the same pattern? After all, Parshat Mishpatim seems to bomb. It's boring. Last week, the week before, we read Parshat Yitro. Starts off a beautiful, touching family reunion between Moshe and Yitro, where Yitro's father-in-law brings Moshe's family, Moses' family, to him. Then we have the Ten Commandments, which introduce us to some of the loftiest ideas society has ever known. Monotheism, Shabbat, the idea of sanctified time, ideas which revolutionize, change the world for the better. We're expecting a good sequel, but it doesn't happen. How does Parshat Mishpatim open up? By speaking about the laws of the Eved Ivri, how one must treat his or her Hebrew slave. After all, Mishpatim means ordinances. Sounds boring. It sounds like zoning laws. Who wants to learn about zoning laws? So why are these laws in the Torah? Did God crack? We couldn't come up with a good sequel? We need a new screenwriter? Not according to Rashi. Rashi says that God juxtaposed Mishpatim to Parshat Yitro for a specific purpose. And if you look at the beginning of Mishpatim, you see why. Opens up by saying, Va'el lehem Mishpatim asher tasim lifneihem. And these are the ordinances which you shall set before them. Notice it doesn't start off, Eila Mishpatim, these are the ordinances. It starts off, Va'ela Mishpatim, and these ordinances. Rashi explained the word "and" at the beginning of Parshat Mishpatim teaches us that these Mishpatim are connected to the Ten Commandments. Just as the Ten Commandments come from Sinai, so do these Mishpatim, and they are just as important. In other words, how you treat your lowly slave is just as important as how you observe the Shabbat. You want to rest on Shabbat? You let your slave rest as well. In fact, the Talmud in Bava Kama teaches us what's true piety? Observing civil law scrupulously. Yes, Shabbat observance, kashrut observance is very important, but of equal importance is how you treat your fellow human being. The courtroom is also a sanctuary. So let me conclude by giving you a good example of someone who understands this concept. Someone who's probably never heard of Parshat Mishpatim. Roger Federer, the tennis player. Why do I say that? Because when they were talking about Federer, I was watching tennis and the announcers were talking about Federer. They said, what will you find him doing before the game? You will find him having a conversation with the towel boy or the janitor. Here he is, arguably the best tennis player to ever live, talking to people who are this much lower than him on the social scale. But he doesn't view it that way. He sees it as a fellow human being who is worthy of his attention. That, my friends, is the message of Parshat Mishpatim. That, my friends, is true piety.